Hello and welcome to today's quarterfinal MIAA conference soccer matchup between the Loyola Dons and Archbishop Spalding. Today's crew for the commentating is going to be me, Asher Davis, Brooks Markle. Producing is Daniel Sessa, and working the camera is going to be Ewan Sokolowski. I've got a big matchup today as it's first playoff games for the Dons. And Brooks, what's your insight on this?
Yeah, no, Loyola's definitely going to want to get out early. You know, they're not a team to play down from behind, considering their defense leads them. So they're going to want to get out early and, you know, not get down, have any nerves against this young team who doesn't have a lot of experience in the playoffs. So,
yeah, Loyola is currently on a pretty good streak of 7 games. They're 6-1 in their last 7 compared to Archbishop Spalding's, which is 4-2-1. So Loyola's at least got some recency in the winning category. They've also beat Spalding 3-0 at home and 2-1 on the road. So they've got a pretty good past record as we kick off. Ball's booted downfield, but intercepted by Cal Lackner, who boots it up to Sammy Walker. Pass is intercepted before it gets to Walker, though, as the ball is kicked backwards towards the far side of the field.
Loyola is going to have an important, and both teams really, an important first 20 minutes. Loyola hasn't played since last Monday.
That's going to be a little bit of time to warm up. I'm sure the Dons have been keeping up with practicing and all that in order to get ready for this game, as Mateo Munoz is going to be taking this throw in.
Yeah, and Spalding hasn't played since last Wednesday, so could be a slow start.
As for now, the Don student section has showed up for this game in a big way. Lots of support coming out. Ball thrown in. A little bit of a wild shot towards the Archbishop Spalding goal, and that's going to be taken in. Just settled now. Don't want to make any early miscues in this playoff game. That could really cost the team, so. Now Spalding, looking downfield, kicks it out. It's going to be Tosh Topolsky attempting to defend, unable to. But ball cleared out off of a Spalding offensive player as Topolsky gets ready to throw it in again. Topolsky looking for an open outlet for this throw. Throws it up to Dan Klink, who heads it back to Sammy Walker. Passes just off for Walker, but forces the Spalding player to kick it out.
Loyola won the first 2 matchups against Spalding in the regular season. The first time 3-0 and the second time 2-1.
A dominant performance on both those games. Back to Carmichael now from Topolsky.
And Spalding is the 6th seed, Loyola the 3 seed.
Carmichael to Andrews. Andrews looking for an outlet, finds one in Klink. Kicks it back to Carmichael. Right now, like you said, kind of a slow start, but Loyola's definitely been controlling possession.
Well, and the Loyola defense will wear you down offensively with their passes in the back, you know, forcing the offense to put pressure on the ball.
Yeah, I mean, more running, you feel more tired, obviously. Simple. Passes it through. Attempt to get it is Cal Lackner, not able to beat that pass to the Spalding goalie.
You like those passes, though, from your midfield and your attack, you know, trying to get something through and, you know, skip that step between the midfield and attack.
Especially since there was a lot of defensive passing, finally got something moving as Dan Klink threads it through to Sammy Walker, the team's leading goal scorer, who passes it through to Klink again, but it's going to be offsides. Disappointing finish to that offensive attack, but definitely looking up at the beginning of this game as Loyola's been controlling the ball well.
Good vision so far from this midfield and offense of Loyola, you know, creating 2 chances. They haven't worked out so far, but in the first 3 minutes, that's a good start.
Now the goalie looking to boot it up again. A lot of settling here. Kicks it into the Loyola defensive side. That's intercepted by Klink. Kicks it up to Lackner, who just kicks it up to Sammy Walker. Wonderful pass there, but it's going to be intercepted. Walker unable to kind of control that with his head, and then the ball's kicked out to Garifalakis, who's making a move down the field. Looking for an outlet. Doesn't find one, but is able to create himself some space. And there's a lot of control here from the Dons on their side, on the Spalding side, as it's crossed in by Garifalakis and headed out by a Spalding defender. And it's going to be a corner kick now
Yeah, Loyola looks awesome early. Great movement. But Spalding, all they have to do is they can bend, but they can't break and let in a goal.
Absolutely.
Soccer is a game that doesn't have a lot of scoring, so there's going to be chances where it should be goals and it doesn't work out, and you just have that guy to step up and make a play to maybe not stop it, but make it harder. And especially for a Loyola team that their strength isn't in their finishing.
And Topolsky's cross, not a bad one, as it bounces out to Lackner, who shoots it off the crossbar. Wonderful shot. Klink attempts to head it back out. Not going to go, as Spalding is able to clear. Never mind. Attempts to clear it, but Garifalakis does a great defensive play on the offensive side of the field and kicks it out to Topolsky, who creates something as the ball is kicked out. I believe it's going to be another corner pick, and it's going to give Topolsky another shot.
Great shot from the sophomore Cal Lackner. You have a guy that doesn't really have much experience in the playoffs, but not scared early, shooting outside the box, and almost got it to go.
Absolutely. I mean, that was just an absolutely great shot. Didn't even have to settle it, really. And if you can keep creating opportunities like that off of these corner kicks that so far, two have already happened. We've barely gotten off. So
firing on all cylinders right now.
Shot off in the side. I think Walker got a head on it, but not enough. As Lackner heads it over. Carmichael attempting to settle it. Crosses over, but doesn't create enough space. But is able to force a Spalding defender to kick it out, allowing Loyola to keep possession. I can't remember the last time that a Spalding player has had the ball for more than about 5-10 seconds.
Well, that's the big strength of the Dons is holding possession and really, dominating it. And today, if they can continue to dominate possession, it's going to wear down Spalding.
And as we were speaking, it was headed into the center, but a couple of headers blasted the ball over the top of the net, and now we're going to have another goalie kick for Spalding.
Yeah, Garifalakis just a little bit too aggressive, and, his eyes kind of opened wide considering he was at the 6 with a chance to score, just too much on it, but, still the Dons like to see it.
Absolutely. Dan Klink closing in, almost blocks that goalie kick. Unable to get a foot on it, though. And Carmichael going for full effort. Unable to get anything on the ball, but definitely good effort from Carmichael there as Tosh Topolsky, that's Mateo Munoz, intercepts the pass and gives Loyola the possession yet again.
Great aggressiveness from the Dons early, shifting their forces up to pressure the ball.
Absolutely, and Spalding now kind of controlling possession. This is one of their first offensive plays of the game, if not their first, so this is a good opportunity to try and get something started. Doesn't look like they can as it goes over the head of, can't see the number on that, but it goes over a Loyola defender head. And now Munoz is going to be able to have a defensive throw-in on the far side of the field. Looking for an option. Finds one down the sideline. Walker. Ball's just going to be booted up, but kept in. As Walker pursues it, goes out. I believe that's going to be Spalding ball. And back to the goalie, yes. It's a little confusing. I can tell from the body language there. And Andrews pursues it. Sophomore defender Andrews. Ball is taken from around the middle of the field.
Well, you see these center backs, Andrews and also Carmichael, coming way out of position to try and get the ball. That's a good thing to see early, showing the aggressiveness. Another point towards that.
Absolutely. Quickly booted back down from Andrews as Klink has a wonderful pass over the top of some Spalding defenders' heads, and now we have Garifalakis looking for an option. Doesn't find one over the middle, but the possession is still absolutely an offensive one, and it's kicked out of bounds.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Garifalakis take the shot on that, and rather than give it up in the box, I believe he was looking for Walker, and Walker, that leading goal scorer. It's a good idea, but I don't think the right one, considering he had the breakaway.
Now, luckily, they did have both Lackner and Walker who've been playing well offensively throughout this game, so those threats are going to open up opportunities for players like Garifalakis to get those breakaway passes. As the ball's centered towards that leading goal scorer, Walker, who attempts for sort of a bicycle kick.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't do that. So that was, I mean, he missed,
Good
but that was an impressive try. As the ball goes back to the Spalding goalkeeper. Again, Loyola's been playing very well, but nothing to show for it as of yet. They've been creating a lot of opportunities, but the finishing is really not nailing today. So as of right now, but there's still a lot of time, and they've had a really good start. As Munoz kicks it back, and Klink pursuing it. Seemed like there was a little bit of a miscommunication between the Spalding defenders on who was supposed to have that, but goalie cleared it, and now it's headed around 4 or 5 times by Loyola defenders. Now it's in the center of the field. Topolsky trying to close in with Klink. As the Spalding player rolls out. Blocked by Munoz. As Walker now has an option to pass it up to Gerafalakis. He's got space, but he's also got a defender. Makes a move on him, kicks it down, and now has some time. And ball is stolen by the Spalding player, but I can't tell who that went out on.
Good step.
Seems like it's a corner kick, so Topolsky's going to get a third opportunity to create something here for the Dons off this corner kick.
Great step from the Spalding defender, but this defense of Archbishop Spalding has to be absolutely dead considering the amount Loyola has had it and also the pace they've played at.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be some fatigue on both sides. Loyola's been running around as well offensively, but definitely more so on the Spalding side, as Loyola's been having a lot of really good, consistent passes that have just opened up good opportunities. Again, not a lot of finishing, but, I mean, Lackner hit it off the crossbar, and that was about the closest they got. But, they're trying to create some more opportunities like that. Hoping for a similar opportunity here on this cross corner kick. It's a cross of sorts.
Also, Gerafalakis over in that corner, or he's coming. He has an injury. It looks like on the side.
Yeah, there's a slide tackle, I think.
Yeah, that was Molina subbing in, or excuse me, Jordan Maglalang for Loyola coming in for him.
And ball's kicked high in the air off that corner kick. It's gonna bounce high, pretty high bounce there. Goes out of bounds. It's Will Winnick in pursuit of it, not able to corral it. But it's going to be a Loyola throw-in from Munoz again. Hopefully Gerafalakis has a speedy recovery. He's able to get himself back in this game because he was playing really well on that far side. As Walker is unable to bring in that header. Booted out again by the Spalding goalkeeper. Kicked off Walker. Klink. Over to Magalang. And physically forced to the ground by a Spalding defender, but no penalty. Looked all right to me, I guess.
Another good play from that Spalding defender, but Dan Klink has really had great vision. That's about 3 passes so far that have almost led to a Loyola goal, but they've just missed. But good to see him get going offensively, especially passing it.
Definitely. And I believe that was an offsides. I couldn't tell, but it seemed like the goalie took a larger step out of the goalie box with that ball for a free kick as the ball careens out of bounds on the Spalding side. But there's been some really good play.
I think it might have been an offside just because it wasn't a traditional goal kick.
Seemed like it, because I thought that was a little physical on that one defensive play, but I guess it happened after the whistle. And the ball's just kind of bouncing around. Nobody really pursued it there off that throw-in as Spalding kicks it up. Carmichael into the middle. Like you were saying earlier, Klink had a really nice one-touch pass and has had multiple of those. As another one is kicked towards Lackner, but this Spalding goalkeeper's been doing a really good job.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of reacting to these through balls, but the Dons have to keep being persistent on those.
It's Clifton Neman, I believe, who is in goal for Spalding. Been playing a really good game. He's going to be a junior. As the ball's kind of bounce around, Walker winning the pursuit on that one. Flips the field to Topolsky, who's looking for some options here down the field. Doesn't find one. Has a Spalding defender closing in on him, so he decides to pass it back to Andrews. Andrews threads it over. And Topolsky, intercepted by Klink in the middle of the field. Looking for an option. Finds one in Winnick. Passes it up to Landon Lackner. Lackner trying to find an option. Finds one in the back. The form of Ryan Andrews. Andrews crossed the field to get Carmichael. Carmichael gives himself some space with a quick touch. Back to Andrews. There's a lot more space for Andrews to maneuver if he can beat this defender. He does, passes it through to Topolsky. A little bit of grabbing. No call. Topolsky loses the ball, but is going to keep the pursuit and is able to kind of just body the defender off of that. Really good defensive play by Topolsky on the near side of the field.
Yeah, after it got taken from him, he stayed persistent, and I think he was a little upset he didn't get the foul call, and it was and also that it was taken from him. So that anger kind of took him over to get it back.
A good physical play there, and there's definitely some miscommunication on Spalding's. Did he slap the? Okay, no, I hit him with his hands. Did he?
No.
No, okay. I was very confused there. We're going to have Carmichael and Andrews. Lots of really good connection here, although the ball's going to be heavily pressured by that Spalding offensive player. As Andrews looking for some space. Kicks it back to Carmichael, who's been doing really well and making moves on this offensive Spalding player to create space. And Andrews boots it up. Lackner heads it over to Walker. Miscue by a Spalding defender as he rolls over. Maintains possession despite of being on the ground. Kicks it back to Wennick. He's going to kick it back again to Munoz. He's kicking it back again to Carmichael. And it's most likely, yep, pass to Andrews.
Yeah, and you'll see these wing backs, Munoz and Topolsky, resort back to their center backs as an option rather than forcing a pass.
And both those center backs have been really good options. Passing into each other as Lackner and Walker. Is that going to be an offsides?
Yes.
That was a good defensive play on the offensive side for the Dons. As Lackner forces it out into the corner of the near side, but I believe it was an offsides call, and that's going to be, I think, the Dons' third or fourth offsides of the game. But a lot of those have been off of really good opportunities, so the Dons are going to need to watch the jump there.
Yeah, I think it's been, possession-wise, about 70-30 in favor of Loyola, and we're just over 15 minutes into the game.
And I believe there's a slight delay as Nemeth has his shoes tied. I imagine that's because of the goalie gloves.
Well, he was tying the goalie's shoe, the Spalding player, and the clock wasn't stopped, which is what Lee Tesantrit was complaining about.
Oh, makes sense. As Andrews kind of forces the ball through, or Lackner, oh my apologies, does a really good job forcing the ball through and maintaining possession as it's back to Andrews after Cal Lackner passed back to Landon Lackner. So now we have Carmichael with possession and space. Kicks it up and finds Cal Lackner, who settles it with his head. They've been doing really good with the heading balls, but kicks it out. Back on it. And now that's going to be kicked out by the Dons. Really good offensive play.
You love to see Gavin Carmichael get in on the offensive end and, you know, send one through down the field for Lackner. Almost led to something. Good touch off the head from Lackner, but Spalding defense staying strong.
Munoz kicks it in. I believe the Dons actually maintain possession off that ball
throw.
going out of bounds. Yeah. Looking again. Ball just got kind of kicked out by the Spalding player. Good job clearing it, but giving Munoz another opportunity as Klink heads it up. And Nevin just kind of capitalizes upon the miscommunication there.
Yeah, he was waiting for, I'm not sure who that is, but he was waiting for that defender to, you know, make a play on it, and he just kind of watched it. So
there's been a lot.
He had to step up. There has been a lot of miscommunication, it seems.
Yeah, I mean Nevin's been doing a really good job of kind of making a plan up on his feet, but there's been a lot of miscommunication from the Spalding defenders on when they want Nevin to clear it, and not a lot of vision looking back for the Dons, who have been closing in on Nevin multiple times. It's only really a matter of time before something slips up if the Spalding players
Great
don't
step
knock it
from
down.
Moneymaker.
Really good job there. And offsides again. Now that one seems to be getting a little bit of a reaction from the crowd there. I couldn't really tell. We don't have the angle on that, but it seemed like everyone was breaking on it pretty well. But this ref is
that official on the far side has been calling every offside he gets a.
He's consistent.
Yeah,
he is. He knows what he wants to do. And now Loyola with another, I think it's fourth or fifth offsides call now. And
wow. And Coach Lee Tesantrit gets a yellow card for arguing that.
And yeah, I mean, I don't blame him on that because it seems like there's just been a lot of sensitivity on the offsides calls when the Dons have the ball, but I've yet to see even a penalty called on Spalding. So it's looking. I think he probably feels a little bit slighted there.
And that same head official, I believe, gave him a card in a Calvert Hall game earlier this year. That's just what I think, but he doesn't put up with any of the arguing.
It's gonna be kicked directly in the legs. And it's not going to be called, I don't think. But another huge reaction from the Dons crowd as the ball's just going to be a goalie kick. That was going to be some physical play on the offensive side for Spalding that forced it back. But the goalie, Jordy Ekman, is going to get his first touch of the game. I don't believe he's had to really do much this game.
No.
I don't even know if he's touched the ball yet.
There hasn't been a shot on let alone a shot on goal. There hasn't been a shot from Spalding.
We've given a lot of credit to the Spalding goalkeeper, but, I mean, you have to give it to the Dons defense. They haven't even made Ekman work at all, which is probably the preferable position for a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
As Andrew spins around and passes it back to Carmichael. Really good passing between those two all game. But, again, the defense has been doing a really good job of just kind of making sure that there's no opportunity for Spalding players.
And Carmichael and Andrews are two huge assets for the Dons. Andrews a sophomore and Carmichael a junior, so they'll have him for another year at least.
It's interesting. There's not a ton of seniors.
No.
There's a couple, but there's not an overwhelming amount of seniors on the varsity roster.
Only
so
4 or 5, I believe.
Yeah, really nice play from Topolsky to find Lackner going down the left side, and that's absolutely a foul. That's got to be a foul. And it's going to be called as Lackner forced into the box and physical play. Spalding is called for the first time today on a foul. As Lackner or whoever gets to take these corner kicks, I believe that's the other Lackner.
Penalty kicks, yeah, it'll be Lackner.
Penalty kick, thank you. And it's going to be the first call, and it seems like Spalding tend to plead their case with the ref, not going to get it.
Well, and that's all from this pressure the Dons offense has had on the Spalding side. They've had many opportunities, and, Spalding getting worn down. You get a foul call and, a chance to score here.
Big chance to score. Lackner surveying the goal as Nevin prepares to attempt to make a game-changing save or a game-changing goal here. And the shot by Lackner finds it into the bottom left corner of the net, and that's going to put the Dons up 1-0 in the first half after a foul on Cal Lackner opens up that opportunity. Dons take the lead, and that's going to be a great way to start the game.
Yeah, and even if the goalie went to his right, which is where that ball went, I don't think he would have been able to save it as it hit that side net.
Yeah,
great shot from Lackner.
It had speed, placement, and just overall found the perfect place of the net. As Spalding is going to take the 1 point deficit so far. It's going to be some substitutions now. As I believe that's Winnick and Garofalakis going off. Good to see Garofalakis back on the field. It's also going to be number 12, Zach Moneymaker, going off.
Sammy Walker's going to replace him.
Seemed like the starters had a bit of a rest on the offensive side. As Spalding kicks it back, and the game resumes.
And it really seemed like it was only a matter of time for the Dons to cash in by the trend in the first 20 minutes.
Absolutely. And Brooks, where do you think the most success is coming from here on the Dons side? Because it's obviously been heavily favored by the Dons.
Well, 2 things. They, one, seem a lot more aggressive than the entire regular season they played. And also, just not willing to give it a chance going through or, passing down the field, trying to create opportunities with these passes and, not afraid. And it seems like Spalding can't really do anything with the talent the Dons have and, the ambition.
Yeah, speaking of ambition, that was an ambitious pass by Spalding, and it's going to be intercepted by Walker and broken up by the Spalding defense, but that was almost a really nice breakaway. It looked like it could have turned into a 4-on-2, but that was a nice defensive play by Spalding as Walker was in heavy pursuit of that ball.
Yeah, he was just a little hesitant, and the Cavalier defender caught up to him.
And really good defensive play there by Topolsky. If anytime there's a miscue, there's always a recovery from Topolsky. Been playing a really impressive game so far and has been really finding some alleyways for passing, as have the entire backside of the Dons team. They've been finding alleyways. They've been taking up the check down options and just really opening up the field for the offense.
And, Loyola is really speeding up the pace from what they normally play, and it's working. So if you're Spalding, instead of matching that, I think they slow the game down and try and catch these Dons off guard who are, playing at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Nevin's been playing well as goalie, but he's definitely been forcing the ball down the field a little bit and trying to create some offensive pressure. And I would say that right now the Spalding defense needs to kind of settle it down and take the same strategy that the Dons have had by having the center backs just pass it back and forth a little. I mean,
the Loyola forwards don't normally pressure the ball when the center backs have it and are not really good at taking it away. So Spalding can keep it in the back.
Yeah, they just kind of have Walker normally up there putting pressure on, but not nearly as much as Spalding's been doing in the Dons' defensive side. We'll see Walker pursuing Nevin again. And Nevin's just going to boot it down again. Does not take any of the check down options there. And the ball bounces back. Spalding's first offensive opportunity, but there comes Topolsky again with a wonderful defensive recovery. Got good physical play. And ball's going to go out of bounds. Corner kick for Spalding is again just Topolsky had a really great recovery there.
Well,
He's been doing that all game.
I mean, that's just a talent gap right there. I mean, you have about 5 yards between you and the defender catches up. That's something where Spalding can't really do anything.
Absolutely, there was definitely some hesitation there.
Yeah, that's just simply one team having a better player than the other.
Yeah, as Ekman knocks it down, recovers, and boots it down to Walker. Spalding defender intercepts that and kicks it back the other way. Carmichael looking for it, but is able to evade touching it. Really smart play there, as there was some heavy pressure from that Spalding player, but Carmichael actually took more effort to not touch the ball and let it just go out of bounds. And Loyola's going to keep possession. I mean, Loyola's just been absolutely dominant on the possession side so far. I mean, we've seen it so far the entire game, that with Andrews, Ekman occasionally, Carmichael, Topolsky, they've been finding the alleyways. They've been opening up opportunities by creating space in the defensive side for their offense.
Well, it's not really a hard concept that the more you have possession in soccer, the better chance you have to win the game.
Absolutely. And I mean, currently the Dons have been having both possession, and like you said, they've had the lead. Right now, it seems like there's a foul called as Carmichael hit the deck. This is another good opportunity for the Dons to just kind of create some offensive pressure. Andrews looks for something, doesn't find it. Klink receives it as the ball is bounced back out to Carmichael, who kicks it downfield. Has Munoz running down the far side of the field. Almost settles it, but it's going to be kicked out off of Munoz.
Great run from Munoz there, just not quite the weight on the pass from Carmichael to keep his run going.
He's been looking for that ball for a while now after Ekman actually had him as an option, but I think a Spalding defensive player recognized and closed down earlier. But so that's going to be a good threat if Munoz can keep that same effort and continue running that route, because it's been open on the far side there down the sideline for Munoz. As I believe Topolsky is going to be subbed out. He's been putting a lot of effort in. Good job by him. Good job by the entire Dons offense and defense so far. Really just not a lot of space to improve for them right now, as they've been playing a pretty lockdown game. But Spalding has begun to put some offensive pressure as the ball is booted down back towards the Dons side. Lackner capitalizes on the Spalding offensive player falling, but not a more controlled kick. And the ball's going to be taken again by Spalding, who've definitely improved their possession as it's kicked up, crossing the field, but it's going to go out of the back, and now it's going to be a goalie kick.
And I just don't think Spalding is going to be able to win this game if they continue to try and send guys down the field, whether it's the goalie, sending it long, or, the midfield trying to get it up to the forwards. I just don't think that's going to be a viable option to score goals. I think they're going to need to resort to shorter, more controlled, and a slower game, rather than just booting it every time they have the ball.
Absolutely, as that's going to be a foul
They-
on Spalding.
They just do not have the talent to win the ball when it's in the air.
Simply enough, I mean, they haven't really been settling it well on the Dons side, and the Dons have been capitalizing on that. Anytime there's even a moment of hesitation for Spalding, you got a really speedy Dons varsity team here. So, they just capitalize on that as the ball is headed up by Andrews, but the pass to Romero intercepted by a Spalding player. But again, those hesitations, those lack of quick decisions, is going to allow for the Dons defense to just kind of close in on
Yeah, and
that.
I think that's why they're sending it. They're not the best playing slow and with short passes, but you got to try something new. It's playoffs. You're down a goal on the road.
I get trying to find an offensive spark, but I mean they really have done like again he's gonna just boot it down the field. I could have told you that when he got the ball. So there's no unpredictability with that, and that allows for the Dons defense to really get set. And by the time the ball's already down there, I mean they have great positioning on it, and the ball is booted.
That's a good ball.
Flipped the side on Romero, but Ekman punches it out. Great play by Ekman in what could be his final game. As of right now, it's not looking like it, but he is a senior. So this is a really important time for Jordy Ekman, trying to secure. And there's some really aggressive play by Munoz there. He's already getting a little handsy before, but that was a quick kick to the legs, where he's going to allow for the Spalding players to have a opportunity off this foul kick. And there's been a lot of fouls this game so far. I don't really know why, but there have been. As the ball is going to be kicked. Just almost created an opportunity there, but ball was kicked into the Loyola goalie box there after it bounced around a little bit. Almost created opportunity, but again, it felt a little bit forced to take a shot from there. There have been a lot of forced decisions.
Yeah, but that's by far been the closest to a goal. Romero a little dangerous trying to send that one down the field at their own 6.
And a lot of physical play again. And Spalding not settling it. Oh, nope, they are going to settle it off this foul kick. There's been a lot of, questionable physical play on both sides so far. So, I was looking for a foul kick here again.
Free kick.
And ball's booted in, headed upwards by a Spalding player. There was some physical contact there again in the goalie box. Nothing called.
Corner kick, it looks like.
Corner kick.
Official saying a deflection, and I like Spalding settling it there for the free kick, but then for them to just send it into the box, it's not something I would like to see, again, slowing the game down and, move the ball up slowly, but, they're still going to try and just, send one into the box and hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, I would not call myself a soccer expert by any means, based off the way that I don't know any of the terms, but I would say that it looks like they just need somewhat of a spark on the Spalding side, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get it off just booting it into the Loyola defensive side. Loyola's defense is just simply too well put together for that.
Ooh.
As that corner kick almost goes in the worst timing of my life. I've been known to do that, but it's going to go out of bounds and allow for a goalie kick.
And if you're the Cavaliers, obviously it seems to be your game plan and what you've played all year long to have the offense where you send it and hope for the best. But I'm not saying go away from that completely, but definitely change it up.
I mean, they've been having good possession as of late. Obviously, they began with a lot worse time possession comparatively to the Dons, who have seemed to kind of laid back a little bit more, play a little bit less aggressively. But Andrews and Carmichael have definitely been passing less in the second half of the first half so far after this goal. So I don't know. They need something to continue to control this game. But Spalding has been picking up their time possession, and it shows. There's been a lot more opportunities for Spalding, and almost a couple of goals as Carmichael hits that up to Walker.
And I'm glad you bring up the fact that Loyola seems to be a little bit more relaxed and not as aggressive, because when they do go up, it seems like they lose that aggression, which is something that I think kills them, and I think it's the reason they lost that Calvert Hall game when they were up 2-1.
And that might be offsides. It is off of Walker from the pass from Garofalakis.
That was a good call. That was
absolutely
close.
offsides. Yeah, I mean, I could have told you that. But ball is booted up. Romero hits it off the back of his head. Nice job there, keeping control where the ball is going despite two Spalding players near him. It's going to go out of bounds. Seems like, yeah, it's going to be Don's throw in. Romero tosses it up to no one. Spalding player catches that, settles that, and crosses it over as Ekman, again, really nice play by the goalie. He's been playing great now that he's getting an opportunity to kind of show off his skills.
Yeah, and I'm not sure whether that was a shot or a pass, but it seemed to be a little bit of an in-between. Would like to see a commitment to one of the two.
Yeah, I mean, definitely with the playoffs now, I mean, you have to make quick time decisions.
And yeah, that's something that the Cavaliers lack, and it's the reason why they're losing this game.
Absolutely. I mean, they've had opportunities. The Don's relaxed kind of position here have absolutely opened up opportunities, as that seemed like a little bit of a flop, but I didn't see
I
any
didn't
physical
agree with
contact.
that.
I didn't see any physical contact there. Kind of inconsistent calling here by the ref. But I mean, the Don's been playing through that, and it seems like it's happening on both sides with the physical play. But definitely a couple of questionable calls that have changed the game.
Big last 6 minutes and 40 seconds to, finish it out for both sides.
Absolutely. If the Dons can take this in with the 1-0 lead and prevent Spalding from scoring on them, I mean, that's just going to be a huge way to end off the half. Obviously, you would like to go up by more than one at the end of the half.
Oh, what a pass.
Really nice corner kick. Really nice corner kick as Spalding capitalizes off of a wonderful pass and just has really, that offensive player who scored there had nothing much to do other than just kind of redirect the ball in. Ekman just simply had no shot there. That was more of a defensive error, if anything.
What a huge goal from the Cavaliers to change the momentum when it seemed all Loyola in these past, 5 minutes. It just seemed they've evened out possession from, a more relaxed Loyola defense and took advantage of it right there. Not sure who got it into the back of the net, but, just goes unchecked. Great ball to him, though. And
absolutely.
That is a huge, huge goal. And just as I said, you got to finish out the half for both sides. That's what Spalding would love to see.
I mean, yeah, that's a really big goal for Spalding because throughout the entire season, the ratio of Loyola goals to Spalding goals is going to be 5-1. So even just being able to score on them one time this game is really good for Spalding to kind of, open up the opportunities there and prove that they can score these goals against this Don's defense, which has been really tough for them all season.
And a yellow card on the Spalding bench for the celebration.
Oof. The entire bench or just...
Yeah, I believe it goes to the coach.
Oh, okay, I was going to say.
But usually when you go, they probably kick the flag. You'll get carded for that.
Good observation there.
Thank you.
Wennick. Wennick controls the ball there, hits it out to Lackner. And ahead the ball from Garofalakis, not going to go in. Kind of a weak shot there, but again, it's
good look from Klink, though.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of really good aggression now after that goal was scored from Spalding, just off that beginning of that possession. So, I mean, the Dons do play better when the aggression is there, as we were saying earlier. Maybe a little bit of urgency. A miscue there in the middle of the field by Wennick, but a recovery by Landon Lackner, who boots it down the field. It seems like a Spalding defender is just going to kind of capitalize and control that ball. Kicks it in the center of the field, deflected by Lackner as Munoz passes it down. Back to Landon Lackner. Kicked out to Klink, a little behind him. Wennick out to Munoz. Settles it, creates some space. Kicks it down the field. No communication really from the Spalding defense as almost slipped by that Spalding defender, but he was able to control it. Again, there was not a lot of urgency from the Spalding defense, while Garofalakis just took advantage of that.
And you can already tell in 1 minute, after Spalding scores, the urgency and aggression Loyola now is playing with.
It seemed like they're playing a little bit more for something, and I get that it's the playoffs, but you really can't allow yourself to relax too much like they were, because, I mean, anytime you relax that much, you're going to get the same result that they did, and that's going to be a Spalding goal. Whether it be that they feel comfortable against Spalding after winning 2 games against them in the regular season by good margins or what, but they can't allow for those kinds of lack of aggression to turn into goals for Spalding. And a miscue by Nemen, a good block by the Spalding defense after a nice throw-in by Munoz. Almost turned into a Don's goal, but a good play by that Spalding defender after a miscue by Nemen. Just kind of couldn't bring it in off the fingertips.
Yeah. Anytime a goalie comes out to grab a ball, it's a risky play, and somehow Loyola doesn't score, and Nemen gets away with it.
And normally the goalies, I mean, it's a calculated decision. Like you said, it's risky, but it's oftentimes one that's the risk reward is going to be higher. But that time, it just felt like he didn't need to go out there. And
yeah, he miscalculated that. You're right.
Absolutely. I didn't really get the feeling. Oh, wow, nice kick by that Spalding defender over the head of Walker. Ball back to Wennick. Wennick, Garofalakis. Garofalakis trying to get some space, finds it in Wennick, and now there's some space for Wennick. Not a lot of Spalding defenders. Crosses it over to Klink, who attempts to take a shot without settling it. Had a lot of space.
Wow.
Granted, the vision on the field is going to be a lot different than from the press box, but he had time.
Wow. What a look from Will Wennick. And a great ball, you know, had the defense drawn in and goes to the other side. He's only a freshman. I think he's got probably the best vision on the team and makes a great play there. And, you know, Klink, you said, had so much space, could have taken a touch and shot it. But also, you know, even without taking the touch, he still got set and just, you know, it was a miss kick.
Absolutely. I mean, that's going to happen, but it's definitely good for the Dons to see that kind of opportunity being created again. I haven't seen or really felt the pressure on Spalding's side all game. So, or not all game, since the Dons scored that goal. So that was a kind of good way to wake him back up.
Walker seems tired. The Dons striker, leading goal scorer, you know, didn't really get to that ball when it was going to the goalie. It didn't get close to him.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a lot of running for Walker. I mean, he's had to put pressure on the goalie who's consistently had the ball on the Spalding side. So in order to create pressure and not allow him to kind of settle it, they had to put pressure on him. So Walker's definitely tired out as that ball's getting going.
I wouldn't be surprised to see in the second half Moneymaker getting some time in for Walker with that fatigue. That's probably going to come again in that second half.
And absolutely. I mean, there seems to be extra Spalding defense on Walker. Again, he's been a really good goal scorer all season for the Dons, as that corner kick is going to be kicked out. And controlled by Wennick, who finds Garofalakis. Both of those names have been called out a lot this game. Both are playing really well, as I believe a foul on Spalding back near where Wennick was. Maybe got a little bit grabby there. Now Andrews is going to look to boot it downfield. Walker called for it. He's going to get it. Lots of space. Redirects it. And Nemen comes out of the goalkeeper position. He's been having to do that a lot this game. As Topolsky controls it. Kicks it out. Klink looking for an option. Quick touch and go pass. Another one followed up. Klink to Lackner. And the ball is booted back towards Topolsky, who has a really nice one-touch pass. Another one from Klink, as I believe that's going to be Wennick, was not able to thread that ball through, and Spalding gets it again. Carmichael with that really good aggression. We've seen that all game and really all season from Carmichael. He puts
30 seconds.
And now there's 30 seconds. Loyola's been having control, and he's going to find Walker, settles it.
Oh.
Nice move there, but he's going to hold himself up, and that's
good defense.
Pass out to Klink. Shot from Klink and just barely off.
What a sequence there. Walker had a great touch on it. It just great recovery from the Cavaliers defense, and then goes back out to Klink, who sends an incredible shot that just slides by, and that should conclude the half. Only 4 seconds left, but an injury in the Loyola box for a Spalding defender.
Good job there by Walker sticking with it. I know that he didn't score there. I know that there was definitely hesitation on that, but he was able to create some space for himself before going down, and he was looking for a foul. I don't think he's going to get one there, as it was a
Yeah,
really
no, that was
50-50
good
type
defense.
thing.
He's just got to be more. You can't hesitate in that situation. You know,
Yeah.
it was good skill, you know, using his feet, but then trying to do too much, and that's one you want to at least have a shot on.
Absolutely, as it was a really good ball, but just unable to capitalize there.
Wow.
As that's going to bring us to the half, and it's going to be 1-1. Dons to Archbishop Spalding. And I think that's going to take us to the break. And we are back on this quarterfinal playoff game. Asher Davis, and this is Brooks Markle. As the Dons prepare to kick off. Brooks, how do you think the Dons can improve upon their game from the first half? Obviously, it was not necessarily a bad first half, but lost that 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I think once they get a lead, they have to, if they get a lead, which is, I think, going to be through aggression and, ambition with their passes, not being afraid to send one and continuing to create opportunities. But if they get a lead, stomp on that neck, have no mercy and, get as big as a lead as possible and don't sit back at all. But they first have to get one, and that's going to be through playing like they did in those first 20 minutes. But it's going to be a lot harder to be aggressive and, make those passes because Spalding's going to make their adjustments and know what to do now. And if you are Spalding, I don't think you just, send it down the field as we talked about. I think you can play slow, but also, have a mix of it. Play to your strengths, but also, play slow like they are right now. And, trying to create opportunities and capitalize off of Don's miscues.
As Tosh Topolsky capitalizes off in a Spalding miscue there as the ball goes into Niven's hands. Now, like you were saying, we just saw a lot of big passes to begin this second half from the Dons as they seem to be trying to create more aggressive opportunities, like you were saying, which doesn't really work for Spalding, but I'd argue works significantly better for the Dons, who've been just booting it down the field with a lot of success as Lackner and Walker and Garofalakis especially have been just kind of deflecting the ball to each other, whether it be with their heads or just kind of settling it off of quick one-touch passes, and it's been working really well. So I'd say that if the Dons can keep that kind of aggression that you were talking about and just keep booting the ball down the field, it's going to work really well. And now Spalding has possession on the Dons' end.
Loyola also going to want to continue to dominate possession like they did in the first half.
Seems to be an extra soccer ball on the field.
Yeah, there is.
Probably Topolsky walked by that. As Ekman reels that ball in.
That was almost 2-1 right there, and it probably should have been
really nice.
The Spalding forward just really didn't get in a position to head that one towards goal. Kind of a weak head on it, and just didn't really put any weight forward to give some power and get it by Ekman.
Good recovery by Ekman, but you can't be having mistakes like that.
More of a pass than a shot. That's how that can be put.
Garofalakis attempted to deflect it and keep running. It went down, and the ball is kicked back to Nevin, who's going to flip the field on him. As they settle it, converged on by 3 Dons. Still gets the ball, but Topolsky kicks the pass out.
And Spalding's going to want to look to even out possession and, again, as I said, capitalize off opportunities. But, if they can take a lead, it would be very, very monumental for this team because Loyola is going to be really nervous being the higher seed and being down in the second half.
Absolutely. Topolsky, nice defensive recovery. He's been doing that all game as he blocks the ball, forcing it to go out of bounds on that side.
Especially on a number 25 of Spalding. He's been after him.
And Ekman able to reel that in really easy now. Looking to just kind of roll it out slowly. Finds Munoz with a lot of space. Munoz has time. Settles it. Down to Landon Lackner, back to Andrews. Andrews to Carmichael. Carmichael finding some space, kicks it downfield. Seemed to be a miscommunication. Walker had his hands up there at the end there. Carmichael.
Oh.
That's looking for a card. Is Landon Lackner, the senior.
Yeah.
And gets the
Oh,
card.
my God.
Is that going to be a red?
Yeah, well, it was his second yellow.
And now debating the call. The Dons get the crowd chanting. A second yellow card is a huge detriment to the Spalding team.
I mean, his leg kind of went high and into the face of Lackner.
Yeah, definitely a penalty. I mean,
it was just a dangerous sort of play, and you didn't really, hurt him, but it could have been a lot worse. And that might as well be, that changes the odds dramatically. And I'm not saying it's over, but being the higher seed, having a tie game, getting kicked out, and now it's a 11-on-10 game in favor of Loyola. So, this is going to be a tough one to crawl out of.
Absolutely.
For the Cavaliers. Just killer.
Nice play there. Gets it to Andrews. Yeah, I mean, that's just a real detriment to the Cavaliers right now.
And I want to say, sorry for interrupting, but I want to say he got his first yellow card on the celebration, which it just makes it even more sad considering you're the lower seed and, you get kicked out in part because of your celebration.
Absolutely. Because, kicking a flag, as it was what you suspected there, that's really why you can't take those simple penalties there.
Yeah.
It's a very avoidable. As Nevin walks out and kicks it in the parking lot, and it's going to careen out of bounds, and going to be a Loyola opportunity for throw-in.
We were talking about possession, but now with a man down, possession is probably going to be dominated by the Dons in the second half, and it'll get to the point where Spalding may be able to keep up for a couple of minutes, but at one point it's going to be a Don's easy chance for a goal, and it's just going to be about if a Cavalier can step up and make a play.
Yeah, and I mean, we've already seen it so far. There's been, with that extra man down, there's been a huge lack of pressure on the Dons defense now. As I mean, down one, you have to kind of. I've lost the word, but you have to recuperate and kind of expect the Dons offense to be aggressive here. And that's going to be a lot of play in the midfield as Lackner passes it to Wennick, who loses the ball. Spalding players kind of hesitating. Andrews loses his man, but is able to recover and tries to roll it back out. Keeps it in, prevents the corner kick. Really nice play there by Andrews, who's going to kind of slide down after some slight physical contact. I don't think that's a foul. It's a foul.
Yeah. A little bit of a dive there.
Andrews to Lackner. Lackner to Carmichael. Carmichael to Munoz, looking for some option. Good defensive play here. They're going to keep the pressure for Spalding. Landon Lackner finds Topolsky on a nice through ball. Topolsky back to Landon Lackner. Now Lackner to Wennick, who attempts to redirect it, blocked by a Spalding defender. And Wennick uses body to keep the ball in and forces a Spalding player to kick it out. But I do believe, no, that's going to be a throw in for Munoz. Really good effort and play by Wennick, uses his body to keep the ball in. Yeah, just an impressive job there. For being a freshman, I think Will Wennick's been playing really well, especially for this being a playoffs. Lots of pressure, looking at him being one of two freshmen on the team. And just, he's been playing great. He's been having a lot of vision, putting a lot of effort in, and it's showed. As the ball is going to be given to Walker. Walker not able to find some space there. Difficult position to be in. But ball bounces out to Topolsky. Down to Wennick. Wennick's pass blocked, but again, that effort, unable to keep it, but, created a difficult position for the defense where they really should have had that locked up. I mean, it was a 3 versus 1. And now Carmichael looking for some options. Back to Andrews. Those two center backs have been passing quite a bit recently. Walker back to Carmichael, who has some space. Puts it down over the head of Lackner to Munoz. Back to Lackner. Lackner to Lackner. Landon Lackner now has it. Landon Lackner to Sammy Walker, who attempts to pass it to Wennick. Wennick, off of the deflection from Spalding, is able to pass it to Tosh Topolsky, who now has control of it. Makes a really nice move, another nice move, and shoots it. Oh, ball is cut off by Dan Klink, and there's some contact on the goalie. It looked like Klink's foot went into the goalie, and that's going to be an injury. And Klink, in an attempt to play for the ball, makes a pretty aggressive play that that could result in a penalty there.
Well, I don't know if it was a shot from Topolsky, but it seemed like it was a pass, and it was a great one, and that was Klink getting in there to try and finish it off. He was in a tough position, though, but, you like to see it. Spalding, they've had chances where, the passes have not been very clean from the Dons, and, they just cannot fully possess the ball and are giving Loyola second chances. It looks like Sammy Walker comes out. Or no, he's going over to talk to a coach. That is his dad. And
water ball spilled?
Well, what they do is they throw the water onto the field and it broke. But it's something with the it's something with the face of the Neiman, not Calvert Hall, excuse me, Spalding Cavaliers goalie. But it looks like he'll stay in the game for it.
I don't know if they were checking concussion protocol or maybe there was a cut in his face or something, but
it's good he's okay.
Yeah, good to see him get up after that. As Klink was just trying to play the ball, so there's not going to be any foul there. But definitely was a risky play for Neiman, who's been putting it all out there. I mean, he's one of the main reasons why Spalding's in this game. I'd argue that Spalding's defense hasn't been necessarily playing poorly, but has had a lot of miscommunications and given Loyola a lot of really great opportunities. And had Neiman really, he's been out of his position a lot. And he's been doing really well with it, but you can't put that kind of pressure on your goalie. If your goalie is also a defensive player, it just results in those opportunities and puts him at risk as well. As Landon Lackner, that is, passes it out to Munoz. Back to Gavin Carmichael. Finds some space in Andrews. Andrews has a lot of time here. Advances the ball up. Back to Gavin Carmichael.
Yeah, and the Dons can take their time, go back to their roots, now being a man up.
Yep, and Andrews loses possession there after fighting for it.
Gets it back. Great job.
Really good effort by these young Dons here with sophomores and freshmen with Will Wennick and Ryan Andrews putting in a lot of extra effort here and making sure to follow the ball through and not lose possession.
Look out.
As there is now a counterattack coming here. Dan Klink looking to
good defense.
Make a cross, unable to, as that Spalding defender makes a good play. Boots it down the field. And intercepted by Ryan Andrews, who makes another move, finds some open space.
Brett Rice
sees Wennick, fakes it to him, and passes down to Cal Lackner. Little hard, though, so unable to catch up to that ball.
Brett Rice had a great step there on Klink to get it back for Spalding, and then just the through ball, a little too far, but you see, possession being heavily favored for Loyola.
And booted out by Neiman again. Jostling for position is Klink. Ball's deflected by a Spalding player. And Landon Lackner goes in for a slide tackle. Good contact there. Passes slightly behind him from Cal Lackner, but is recovered by Dan Klink, who passes it down to Garofalakis. Couldn't catch up to it. Neiman gets control of the ball on the very outer edges of the goalie box. Neiman analyzing the field, looking for anything. I'd imagine he boots it, and he does. Right to Landon Lackner, who heads it up into the center, into the far side of the field. Cal Lackner unable to catch up to that one. Some good defensive positioning from that Spalding player.
Spalding showing some great fight, being a man down. You got about 30 minutes to go. That's a long time, and then you never know what can happen. Mm-hmm. But you got to put it all out on the line. It's playoffs. You're Loyola, the higher seed, has an extra man. The physicality is what is going to put Spalding in front if they can get up. And if they do, it's going to really be hard for Loyola being down, just feeling that pressure.
As pass back from that Spalding player. Nevin, with some pressure from Walker there, kicks it out. Spalding offensive player kicks it down the field. Andrews is just going to let that roll out of bounds. Smart play there. Allow for the Dons to kind of recuperate and reposition themselves. Topolsky looking for where the ball went out of bounds to do this throw in. Clock is ticking. Still 28 minutes now, but neither side has had really any success capitalizing on these opportunities. It's still 1-1, but it could be 3-1 or 3-2 for either side. It's been a lot of opportunities for both sides.
I feel like Spalding should, back off the pressure because, they're really going to get worn down not having an extra man up there to try and pressure the ball in the back. So they should move their forces back and focus on defense. Not saying that, they should totally give up offensively, but in those situations, they're just going to die and, get really fatigued.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you there. I guess Spalding is kind of looking at the success that Loyola has from showing the aggressiveness and maybe trying to copycat that a little bit. But I think that you are right with the defensive play needs to be the main priority. Down a man, you're not going to get as many offensive chances with only 10 guys on the field. Just simply not going to. So you're going to need to prioritize the defense. As the ball is stolen by Dan Klink, kicked out from Mateo Munoz. Mateo Munoz to Garifalakis. Garifalakis tries to kick it to Munoz. Seems like it kind of went off his heel there.
Spalding's really going to need to do a good job of being less hesitant. That's kind of what they have lacking for them, and they're not quick in making decisions, but you're going to have to do that against a Loyola team with talent, and that in this game, in the way they're playing right now, is not playing slow.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously you don't want to be the guy that makes that big miscue in the playoffs that could cost his team the season, but you also can't hesitate and allow for that to create the same kind of miscue because both are just as bad. As Carmichael goes up for the ball there, and Spalding retains possession. Spalding's possession is really steadily improved throughout the game. It started off really terribly, but has so far just improved throughout the game as Klink bearing down on these Spalding players. Pass out. Topolsky forces it out. Spalding player retaining possession. Number 4 for Spalding. Fakes the kick. Now he kicks it in the center.
Oh.
But Carmichael, really nice job settling that.
Gotta control that if you're Spalding.
Absolutely. I mean, just again, like you were saying, the hesitation. And a huge kick back, really unnecessarily far, puts Nevin out of position. And now the ball is, there's a ton of space for Loyola here.
Good touch from Winnick.
Absolutely, and now we're seeing the effects of that man down as Loyola's been finding space. Klink, nice play by Nevin, taking a huge risk there. I mean, if he was not able to get past Klink or Klink had gotten some contact on that ball, that's going to be a goal 100% of the time. So Nevin is just seeming to play like his own defensive position.
And, I agree with that, but also I think this Loyola offense has to run through Will Winnick. With the man up, passing is going to be really important, and Winnick, I believe, is the best passer on the team and, has great decision-making. If you can get the ball to him, it'll lead to opportunities, and you just saw that right there.
Absolutely. I mean, you've seen more games than me, and I mean, I can even see what you're talking about with Winnick. Just absolutely great vision so far this game as Munoz has the ball and crosses it over to Andrews. Andrews also has great vision. He's been calling out a lot of passes for his teammates, kind of trying to spread the field as Topolsky now with the ball.
Yeah, Andrews a defender, but definitely has some offensive talent.
Winnick passes it back to Carmichael. Carmichael to Andrews. Now they do have Winnick with a lot of space. They've got a little bit of a triangle going on. Carmichael was looking for an option, got one. Munoz attempts to settle it. Doesn't seem like he was able to, though. It was offsides, I believe he's calling.
Onate comes in for Winnick, and Moneymaker comes in for Walker. Not surprised. Walker seems very, very tired.
Yeah, Walker has had a couple opportunities throughout this game. Wasn't able to capitalize on them, but I would not be surprised if you see him come in a little bit later with still 24 minutes left in this game. He has some time to get back in this game and get ready. These guys definitely have been creating opportunities. It's just about the capitalizing. I think that's been a problem that's been apparent in the Dons season so far in terms of just creating opportunities but being unable to finish them. And that's been, we've seen that this game.
All year long, that has been the trend.
And that's not to say that the Dons have been struggling offensively. It's just to say that these finishing touches are oftentimes either a little bit far off, and they're good shots, but not accurately enough. As that ball is kicked from Topolsky, seemed like a little bit of a miscue there, shot from a bit far out, but obviously good to try and create some opportunity, maybe create a spark or something that creates a closer shot.
I don't really like that shot in that situation, but he goes for it, a couple times a game, sometimes, and shoots outside the box. Has a good foot.
I mean, you can't. Yeah, I mean, he's got a powerful foot. Topolsky has just been playing, and that again, that's the consequence of forcing your goalkeeper to have a lot of possession back there. He has a lot of pressure, and if he messes up, there's no one to recover for him. So
well, it helps that moneymaker, less tired, comes into the game and puts pressure on it.
Absolutely, good substitution there. As Walker was definitely feeling the pressure, or a little bit tired, was unable to apply that pressure to Naaman, who's been having a lot of extra time, and without that extra time, he has to make those decisions to just kick it out and give Don's possession. As Naaman,
good foot there,
kicks it up. Carmichael looking, stays with it, gets it out to Munoz. Passes it back to Andrews. Andrews chips it up. Carmichael heads it over. Munoz looking for the deflection for Landon Lackner. Gets it to Klink. As Topolsky on the far side of the field, trying to communicate with his teammates. Finds Landon Lackner. And his kick over the Spalding defender is intercepted by another Spalding defender.
They can keep going for those passes, though.
Those passes have been the most effective kind, just over the heads of the Spalding players. They don't have the same kind of speed that the Dons have.
Wow, that's really bogus there from Spalding. You clear it out right to another defender on the sideline, and then he deflects it for a corner kick. That you don't want to give anything away.
Even taking it and forcing a throw-in would be better than this, as Loyola has converted on these corner kicks and created opportunities. It's not like Loyola's have been having difficulty.
Huge corner.
As the ball is up, slapped down by Naaman, kicked up, and just a little bit of a rush shot, but obviously creating the opportunity there. But Naaman kind of bat the ball out, was not able to control it. He's been playing a good game, but he's been having a little bit of difficulty controlling it.
Yeah, that's the second time I think we've seen that. But he was in a tough position. But
yeah,
Klink, not really much you can do there.
Yeah,
because if you do control it, you're going to get swarmed. So he went for it. Not the most committed bicycle kick I've ever seen, though.
Yeah, I mean those hurt. Those, hard to commit to those. As the ball, kind of mishandled there for that Spalding player. Now Garifalakis, pressure there from Naaman, who gets a hand on it. Garifalakis crosses it in, but it's going to be out of bounds. Naaman has been doing great at that all game. You just got to hand it to him. I mean, he's been just almost carrying this Spalding defense to holding the Dons to 1. Because, again, just threaded through after some miscommunication and some extra pressure from the Dons onto Spalding. And, again, Naaman really just recovers there for the defense.
Awesome through ball from the Dons, and Garifalakis just waited too long, and Naaman put his whole body on the line to make the stop there. Great play.
I mean, if he had his entire team playing with the amount of effort and energy that he has, then they'd probably be up. But
look at the speed.
Now we see some speed from Moneymaker there as the ball's kind of kicked around. Topolsky heads it down. Really good play there. And Topolsky follows through as the ball is kicked into the parking lot. Oh, nope, stopped. Kicked out of bounds.
I'll say that Spalding right now, their defense is hanging on by a thread, but, still have it tied.
Garifalakis gets some space, but that Spalding defender is able to recover there, but kicks it out to Lackner. Slight miscue, and that Spalding defender just kind of rushed that.
Well, this Loyola midfield is so good that Spalding can't get any counterattack going. It seems like for these last 20 minutes, we're going to see Loyola with the ball for the majority of it on the Spalding side of the field.
Not only with that man down, but also seeming to be a little bit gassed, a little bit slower, giving up these possessions a lot easier. I mean, without that great goalkeeping play by Neman, you would probably see a much more lopsided Loyola score right now. It's currently tied, but they've been giving up a lot of really easy possessions, like that corner kick, and a couple of examples in the middle of the field, just kind of kicking it right back to Loyola instead of settling it. So now we see them pushing forward, and again, just kind of giving it away there. There was no need to make that kind of play.
Well, he tried to send it through and, you know, get a run going, but I think Spalding's so tired that, you know, they don't really have any inspiration
Yeah, I mean,
to put that out there. I don't blame them, you know.
I mean, down one man, running around. This Loyola team is just a lot faster. We can see that there. I mean, look at Moneymaker. He's making these plays. And again, just giving it away from Spalding.
Wow.
Goes down for Moneymaker, but he stays with it. His effort has been great in the second half. And now they're trying to find an outlet here, Munoz.
That was Anthony Sissone putting his body on the line for Spalding. I mean, they're going to need that physicality to turn up to the max to stay in this one. But, you know, just continuing to hang on by a thread, and it, you know, almost that mistake led to a goal, but great recovery.
And Moneymaker and Anate have been playing a really good game now. I believe they were both subbed in. But Moneymaker really just an impressive second half. He stuck with that ball entirely throughout that, even while hitting the deck, which we've seen from Walker as well, as that ball is blocked off of Munoz's foot. Goes out of bounds for what I believe is a corner kick.
But you got to give it up for, you know, the Cavaliers to stay in this game, keep it tied, under 20 minutes now, being a man down for now, you know, the majority of the second half. It's just an incredible effort.
Yeah, this has been a great game to watch as Neman comes down with it, trying to create a little bit of a breakaway situation there. But it's going to be a 3-on-1 no matter what. There's no Spalding support. Yeah. That's been a huge issue. As we said earlier, while I like that they've played back a little bit defensively, like we said that they probably should earlier, it's also meant that there's not a lot of support when the ball goes down into the Don side. And Neman's all the way out. Again, he's playing his own form of goalkeeper and defense. He's somewhat of a versatile player right now. And another soccer ball finds its way into the field. And Topolsky's going to take the throw-in here. Looking for an outlet. He has Lackner in the middle, but a little bit of a far throw, so he just checks it down. Crosses it into the center as Moneymaker goes down to the ground attempting to head it up. Doesn't get that opportunity. And a nice settle by that Spalding player. But again, not a lot of support there. And just, Landon Lackner seemed to have a hand hit him in the eye. Lackner gets right back up, though. I don't think that was an intentional.
That was a good cross from Topolsky. They just couldn't control it. Almost a counterattack working from Spalding, but great job from the midfield. And now, you know, just back controlling possession for Loyola, and, you know, hopefully to finally get one. They're looking, but Spalding, you know, just playing so strong defensively.
And Lackner passes up to Moneymaker. Still gets his foot on the ball, goes down. And the Don's crowd is really trying to give the players some spark here. It's a good game so far. We've been watching a lot of effort on both sides. And it's leading to a lot of physical play. And obviously that's going to create some fouls, but it's also created some really impressive plays on both sides, particularly from Zach Moneymaker in this game. And a Spalding player goes down, and looks like it was a little bit of a flop. And this is again a handball of some sort. No, they had to call it because he went down. Some calls for the clocks to be stopped, as it seemed like number 7, Christopher Kinn, went down there as the ball's being passed around in the backfield. Up to Evan Anate. Nate has the ball taken away from him. Good defensive play by Spalding. Spalding down the near side of the field. 2-on-1 there with Lackner and Munoz, but a little bit of a rush pass. Lackner puts his body on the line there. Really good job. Crosses it in. And Lackner to Lackner. Good connection there as Cal Lackner puts some pressure on. And just a little bit of a rush shot, but he had a man coming up there. There was really not much he could do.
He was going for Moneymaker. as the Spalding defender fell down and just too much weight on it. You gotta score there if you're Loyola. And now Spalding the other way. I mean, this is,
Again,
they're hanging on. It's
the same
really
problem.
incredible.
It's the same problem that we were talking about with the difficulty of finishing there. I mean, obviously, it's not bad shooting because there's a lot of pressure coming in from Spalding players, really quick time decisions. But there's been enough of those situations that you would kind of, if you're on the Loyola side, just hope that one of these is going to allow for a more settled play. As Topolsky crosses over to Garofalakis, we've seen a lot of him, but Nemin has been playing out of position really well and playing really aggressively. And for being a junior, has just been making really good decisions here as he crosses it down again, drops it, kicks it out.
He's got to be dead tired from, sending balls down the field.
As Lackner sticks with it, clink, Lackner, clink, Moneymaker. Moneymaker trying to stick with it on the far side there as that's a clear from a Spalding player, but it's right to Clink as Cal Lackner tries to pass it to Moneymaker, who wasn't really ready for that. Tosh Topolsky into the center to Evan Anate, who finds Munoz with some space. Garofalakis has been doing a really good job of chasing down these balls as that is out to Moneymaker and a diving save, but it opens up Dan Clink, takes the shot and scores. Dan Clink finishes and redeems himself for an earlier miss on a really nice goal. That's going to put the Dons up 2-1 with only around 15 minutes left in the game. Really nice job on the Dons' offensive side, finally forcing a mistake from the Cavaliers goalkeeper to put them up 2-1. What do you think of that, Brooks?
Oh, what happened was they switched the field and the Spalding defense didn't fully recover just because they are so tired. And, the deflection almost scored, and then the rebound from Dan Clink. And you just, nothing you can do there when you're a man down and so tired. And now 2-1.
And real quick, we would like to thank the Loyola Blakefield Community Partners Program. Loyola Blakefield invites you to join our Blue and Gold Community Partners Program. This program offers a direct way to support our Dons and their Blakefield experience while also establishing a close relationship with the school and our community. For more information, please visit loyolablakefield.org/community.
Also, the Rice, Murtha, and Soros law firm, Loyola Blakefield fans, have you been injured in an accident? Your official injury lawyers at Rice, Murtha, and Soros are here to help. The team of experienced injury lawyers at Rice, Murtha, and Soros fight to score big for you. Don't fumble your case. Hire the official injury lawyers at Rice, Murtha, and Soros to get the compensation you deserve. Rice, Murtha, and Soros will tackle the insurance companies and score touchdowns for you. Call the winning team at Rice, Murtha, and Soros at 410-RICE-LAW or visit ricelawmd.com.
All right, and back to our game. As you're gonna get a couple of commercials in there real quick as we see the ball back into Loyola's end. There was a quick pass up towards Garofalakis, but was unable to reel it in there a little bit ahead of him. And now we see Moneymaker coming back down, using the speed there. Zach Moneymaker's been a real good spark for this Loyola team.
Yeah, and now you just got to step on the neck of the Cavaliers and finish this game out if you're Loyola.
I mean, they've been given opportunities with the red card and everything happening, but they've only just
going to be a corner.
capitalized.
It's going to be a corner. Oh, no, a goal kick.
Yeah, it seems like more of a 50-50 kind of thing as Ekman just tries to rush it out there to Munoz. Munoz creates some space. Back to Carmichael. Andrews tells Carmichael, don't pass it to me. And Carmichael boots it up the field towards Moneymaker. Puts his body on the line there. Nevin is way out of position. Just going back to the Dons goal just real quick, it seemed like a lot of that was caused by the fact that Nevin was taken out of that play. I mean, he had to make a diving save, which is the first real diving save that dragged him out of position that he's had to make all game. And because of that out of position play there, he was unable to recover. And that's the kind of thing that Loyola was just able to capitalize on there, but they had to force him out of position first. As Nevin boots it back down after some Moneymaker, put some pressure on him. And Munoz is going to be able to throw it in now. And we are going to go to 72 Capital Wealth Management. 72 Capital Wealth Management is proud to sponsor Loyola Blakefield. Our financial advisors are committed to helping our valued clients achieve their most important financial goals, working closely with them to develop a deep understanding of their priorities and developing personalized strategies to help achieve these goals and objectives. Learn more at 72capital.com as the ball is now on the near side, near the corner of the Archbishop Spalding goal. And ball kind of passed around a little bit as Steph Garofalakis looking for some openings. Tries to cross it over and forces a corner kick.
Good skill from Garofalakis, and it'll lead to a corner. And this is where Spalding, the Spalding defense is going to have to step up and outplay the Dons physically when you have a cross on a corner kick coming in.
Absolutely. These corner kicks have been kind of 50-50 for the Dons. They've occasionally created chances with Nemen having to step outside of the goal, but they've also occasionally led to counterattacks for Spalding, which would have been a lot more devastating had they had that extra man for some support. And this one's just going to kind of bounce out. Wennick back to Andrews. Find some space, not enough to make anything more than a pass to Carmichael. Lackner tries to kick it out. Touch got away from him a little bit. And now that is going to be a throw-in from Jerome Romero.
And, with a man down for Spalding, it's really improbable for them to score. And it's because they don't have that midfield to control possession like the Loyola can. And, being a man down just adds to that. But, they just can't put the pieces together and get into the box from the Loyola end and create a counterattack opportunity, or just in general, really, go from, your back line to your midline to your front line.
Absolutely, and Romero in ball is intercepted by Spalding, but off of the spin there, it's going to go to Munoz after a quick touch by Steph Garofalakis, who's going to bounce it out to the outside, as he's been doing all day. Corner kick, and what a wonderful save by Nemen, but the ball is still in play and cleared out. What a goalkeeping play and game he's been having. I mean, again, that's exactly what the Dons want. They want to draw him out of position. But the way that he kicked it just prevented it from, giving them another opportunity for a good shot.
That was not a bad shot from Moneymaker. He got all of his head on that. Great shot, just better save.
Absolutely. If you're the Dons, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You forced the goalie out of position, and you forced him to make a really big play, and there was nothing bad there. It was really just good goalkeeping. As Andrews attempts to slide in and save it, unable to catch up to it, but good effort from him. Really good effort.
Great job from number 10 of Spalding to, put the speed on and bring Spalding a challenge. And now it'll put the possession on the Loyola side of the field. And with 7:30 left, the Cavaliers are not going to have a lot of those chances left to score. So that was a big-time play, and now they're going to have to keep it. That's the big thing.
Mm-hmm. Thrown in from Spalding. Over the top of that number 10 of Spalding, and just headed it out of bounds. 7 minutes and 5 seconds left to play in this game. Don's up 2-1. Brooks, what do you think Spalding needs to do to get themselves back in this game?
Well, I mean, they got to have the ball in order to score, and they just are so tired that they cannot really get the ball. And again, I said put the pieces together. So it's just going to be about physicality and speed, which they don't really have right now, but definitely try and make Loyola make mistakes.
As you were saying that, a nice pass in by Klink, but just not enough time to settle it on that reception for Garofalakis. And a real quick word from our sponsors. Loyola University, Maryland. At Loyola University, Maryland, you do not have to choose between focused, effective career preparation and the profound lifelong benefits of a Jesuit liberal arts education. You can find both. And there's no better way to learn about Loyola than to experience it firsthand. Schedule your visit at loyola.edu/visit. Again, that is loyola.edu/visit to explore Loyola's beautiful evergreen campus. As a goalie kick from Nemen, going to bring us closer to that 5-minute mark. Kicked up. Slight shove there from the Spalding player is going to put Clink on the ground. I don't know whether that was just Clink being off balance or what, but that is going to draw a foul. And I believe Romero's going to have a foul kick. They're just kind of trying to place where it's at. Back to Carmichael. Carmichael being converged on.
That's what they need to do, is capitalize off stuff like that. And it is going to be Spalding ball.
Absolutely. There was 3 Spalding players converging on Carmichael there, seemingly out of nowhere. Really good and really surprising counterattack. That ball's booted towards Ekman, but he's going to have no difficulty bringing that in.
That is a bogus shot there for the Cavaliers. Not really sure why you would take that so far out of the box.
And that's you can't do that. You really can't do that. Just letting the emotions run wild there for number 1 of Spalding as he took a little extra kick to Ekman, who was taking a little extra second to settle it there, and could have left it at that, but Carmichael, I'm sure, had a few words for that senior leader keeper in defense of him, and it led to some emotions running out there.
What did he push him?
Yeah, he just slapped his hand away. I mean, you just can't do that. It's those kinds of miscues are going to be looked back on, and the ref's going to have a talk to. I don't know if he's going to give him a card or anything. But both those players having a talking to. And I'm sure Carmichael had some words for him after a questionable kick, but you can't respond like that because that's the kind of stuff that's going to really knock Spalding out of this game. They're already down a man. They can't really afford to have more penalties. And with only 4 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock, that's not the kind of play you want to see.
Well, and that definitely is probably some frustration being down, a man being down on the scoreboard and having only 4 minutes and 45 seconds left until your season could be over.
Yeah, and I mean, both Spalding and Loyola have played a really good game.
Yeah, that's Benjamin Knight. He's a senior as well, so.
As Ekman is playing a smart game here, just kind of controlling possession, forcing Spalding to play someone out to combat that as he's taking time off the clock. I think they took about 10 to 15 seconds, maybe even 25 off the clock there just from Ekman, I don't want to say fooling around with the ball in the back, but, kind of controlling it. As the ball bounced around a couple of players and a good opportunity that I believe was called offsides because they just seemed to kind of lose the urgency.
Or yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a real killer for a lot of opportunities. The fact that the Dons are up 1 with 2 goals does not reflect the amount of opportunities that they've had cut short by offsides.
Or it might have. I can't see the official down there, but it also might have just looked like a miss, but the ball was up in the box, so not quite sure.
And Moneymaker converging on Neman. Neman just going to boot it out as the ball is directly headed from Lackner, headed back down towards the Spalding. Spalding is putting extra men on the offensive side of the ball, and what that means is that if Loyola is able to get possession here, the counterattacks are going to be a lot more aggressive. As we just saw, Moneymaker is offsides by a slim margin, but by enough to kill that counterattack right where it began. Or actually, I think it was a foul.
Or a foul. I'm not sure either.
And you got to stop the clock there.
Yeah, it is a foul. Should have gave him an advantage rather than call the foul, but.
Yeah, that killed a really good counterattack, but Moneymaker does not care. Moneymaker's going to try and make his own situation.
Goalie.
Takes a shot after juking out Neman. Is that what happened? what did they?
The ball was out of bounds.
Oh man, really good opportunity there from Moneymaker as another opportunity. I believe that's his 3rd in the past 5 minutes to score a goal has been cut short by a whistle of some sort. Really crushing there.
Oh, well, yeah, he just didn't really control it fully in the box and lost control, and it would have actually worked out if he could have kept it in bounds. But, only a freshman, really some promise for the Dons, but just couldn't quite keep a clean possession.
Yeah, I mean,
there for the goal.
The Dons have some real freshman talent, as Walker almost was able to have a nice opportunity there. This is the first we're seeing of him in a little while.
Well, you see Spalding, being down, man. I think that helps Loyola keep possession, but also in general, it just looks like being up a goal rather than the first time they were up, you know, kind of sitting back. They have not sat back and, you know, kept that possession
Absolutely, as Lackner uses the speed.
in majority.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like the difference of them being up a goal here and as they were earlier absolutely has shown in the way that the play has been going. I mean, there's been an increase of possession for Loyola comparatively to that first time when they were up a goal, and there's a lot more of a sense of urgency, a sense of needing to shut this game down and end it without also giving up their offensive opportunities.
Yeah, and only a minute 30 now left in the game. Got a clock stoppage.
Now, there's a stoppage of clock. Couldn't tell what was going on over there. Maybe a Spalding coach attempting to argue his case. Stopolsky is cut short of throwing the ball in again. Might be a timeout.
There's no timeouts in soccer.
Wish I'd known that before saying that word. I know I've got
Not really. It's an injured player, but
sort of a timeout.
Yeah.
I was right. And now that's going to stop the clock.
If Loyola can hang on in these last minute 28, they will play John Carroll in the semifinal. Hard to Beat is honored to support Loyola Blakefield. At Hard to Beat, we are proud to serve as a trusted safety partner for organizations across the nation, training and equipping their team members and facilities for an emergency, including the beautiful campus here at Blakefield. First responder owned and operated Hard to Beat believes in giving back to its community, something which was instilled in owner Scott Coleman's core during his time at Loyola Blakefield. Visit us online at www.hardtobeatllc.com or call 443-330-7793. Be well.
Well spoken. And now we see an opportunity created after a miscue by Andrews, just going to get kicked out by
They're going to have a
Munoz.
chance. They're going to have a chance. 40 seconds.
40 seconds and a lot of speed from the Spalding side as they boot it over. And Carmichael with a possibly game-ending play there, but no, it's brought back in for Spalding. Carmichael again. Really good job by Carmichael there on the defensive side, and Topolsky finishing off that effort. But there's still a little bit of hope here.
Oh, what a ball.
Wow. What a shot. I mean, he found right in between that Don's defense, but that's going to be a sliding shot.
That was their chance.
I mean, you got to give it to them. The Spalding players didn't give up, kept
10
hope
seconds.
alive. 10 seconds, and Ekman's just going to,
They didn't give up. What an effort, but that's it.
Just going to roll the ball, take a huge victorious kick, and the crowd goes wild as the Dons secure the victory over the Cavaliers as the Cavaliers' season's come to an end. Good effort but really just a great effort from Loyola. Keep their season alive as Ekman shows the crowd his shirt. And just a great game on both sides.
Yeah, no, good win for the Dons. They'll advance to play John Carroll on the road in the semifinal matchup, as it'll be the 3-seed versus the 2-seed to try and go to the championship at UMBC. That'll be our last broadcast of soccer all year long, though.
Oh, well, a good way to finish it out. It's been a really great game, and I am Asher Davis.
Yep, and I'm Brooks Markle.
And thank you for joining us today.